Hi, my name is Rabbi Orlofsky, and welcome to the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. Whether you are listening on tour anytime or wherever you listen to your podcast, welcome on board. As many of you guys don't know, it's actually my father's Hebrew birthday today, and he has no clue we're filming right now, and we want to sing you, Abba, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Abba.
Pops. Don't kill us, please. Don't kill us.
We're gonna die.
Yeah.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hi, this is David Orlofsky, and welcome to the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. Now, as you know, there is a tradition on the Rabbi Orlofsky Show dating back to 2019, where on Shabbos Shira, we have a musical episode. I remember last year, we had the Australian Kangaroos singing their song about Shabbos, and I helped them really publicize and get out there because they only had 50,000 views before they came on my podcast, and after that they had about 51. So it was really on target. So we have a special musical treat for you this week. And before I say anything else, we'll just let the music tell the story. And so, Rabbi Isai, if you would start us off with one number, which I think only has 1.2 million views, and I'm sure most of my audience has never heard of it because most of my audience really never leaves the house, and the only thing they ever watch is me. So, Rabbi Isai, if you will.
I was told to speak to you, Hashem. Maybe you can tell me who I am. I've been lost too long to know where I belong. In the end, my only hope is that you'd hold my hand. Tatty My King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me. Ever let go of me. Tatty My King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me. Ever let go of me. I am here to speak with you, Hashem. I am here to speak with you, Hashem. Starting to see now who I am. Starting to see now who I am. I've been lost before, I know, but here I stand, holding your hand, taking part in your plan. And now I'm walking down your path, even with the questions I have to ask. It gives me hope to know that I belong in the end. I'll reach out for you and take your hand. Tatty My King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me. Ever let go of me. Tatty My King, Father, I plead, don't ever let go of me. Ever let go.
right, so before we continue, I have to give a shout out to our sponsor. I just saw the musical episode. We should start right away with some music. So this episode is also sponsored by the Chicago Chesed Fund in honor of their 3rd annual Shas for Shidduchim campaign. We mentioned this last week, and it is so important. We're mentioning it again. Tu B'Shvat is coming.
Dun, 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 dun.
I was looking for Tu B'Shvat Higir, but Tu B'Shvat Higir. I'm gonna forget it. Anyway, thank you very much for that musical cue. And it is a special skula of Torah and Shidduchim. As you know, Azarim Bedima Barini Yiksaro. When you plant in the dark and the cold, Azarim Bedima in tears, so then you get to see everything blossom. And that's why there's exactly 6 months from Tu B'Shvat till Tu B'Av, where you have the Geula, which is what Tu B'Av is all about, and it's also about Shidduchim. Look how it all ties together. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so they going to have hundreds of lomdim going to finish the Shas in 24 hours on Tu B'Shvat as a zechus for Klal Yisrael to find Shidduchim. The power of Limud Torah on the day of Tu B'Shvat offers many zechusim for singles looking to find their perfect match, according to the Ben Ish Chai and others. By sponsoring a dot for $100, just $100 on behalf of a single. And I should have to say, after last week already, people have been putting in, because we all know about these problems. I haven't spoken enough about the shidduch crisis yet. I was speaking about the tuition crisis, but we have lots of crises, unfortunately. What are you going to do? It's enough to keep us busy. Yeah, Baruch Hashem, we can break for a little music, yeah? You can help harness the immense kedusha and power of Limud Torah and Tu B'Shvat in this zechus. All proceeds from this project of Shas for Shidduchim goes directly to the Chicago Chesed Fund. Many Shidduchim projects, which include financial incentives for shadchanim. Those of us who deal with this, you know that to be able to get somebody to work on this is extremely important. Financial support for girls in need, clothing, makeup, etc. This you find in the Gemara, that a girl who doesn't have the money to be able to go out, yeah, it's a very choshev thing to be able to get for them. Miles for flights to out-of-town dates, yeah. Out of town is, of course, I'm talking about any place outside of Brooklyn. So, they have to come in from Queens or New Jersey, Chas v'shalom. So, that they have to come in and forget about Chicago and forget about, Detroit, Minneapolis, Denver. There's so many wonderful cities out there that have so many wonderful people who are looking for wonderful shidduchim that might be in a different city. Mentoring and coaching services for singles, how important. There are certain people who go out and they don't even realize why they're not marketable. And sometimes they just need to learn some basic skills to be able to be more successful in life. And what a sad thing if that's what's holding them back. All of this and more is being done by this. To learn more, visit shasforshidduchim.org, SHAS, the number 4, SHIDDUCHIM.org, to sponsor a daf on behalf of a single. And if you don't have a single immediately in mind, trust me, there are plenty in Klal Yisrael who need your support. Okay, so who do we have with us today?
Shlomo Ghoori.
Is that a question or a statement? Let's try again. Hi, who do we have with us today?
Shlomo Ghoori.
Excellent. Where are you from?
Brooklyn.
Oh, I've heard of it. And you are?
Dovid Edell.
From?
Rockaway.
Oh, I've heard of it too. Yeah. And
my name is Moyo Orlofsky. Welcome to my show.
Oh, knock it off.
I'm sorry,
Now you say I haven't had you on before. Yaakov never gave me a hard time.
I had to try.
Orlofsky is a very common name, but as it happens, Moshe Yehuda is in fact my son. And thank you very much. I had something to do with that. And my father's yahrzeit is coming up on Yud Zayin Shvat, and Moshe Yehuda, of course, was named for him. So that's very special. They gave him, shortly after he was born, my daughters came up with the name Moyo, because my father-in-law's name was Moshe Chaim. So he says, whatever you do, don't call him Moshe. So I was very careful to this day only to call him Moshe Yehuda, and my kids felt that was too long, so they shortened it to Moyo. So I don't know what name he'll be performing under. You guys are going to do this professionally?
I don't know.
I mean, what do you mean by that?
Like go out onto the circuit, do concerts, perform, or are you guys going to get like a real job and do something with your lives?
real job it is.
Yeah, I guess
gonna
I
be a
didn't
real
decide an
job for
option,
us.
yeah, but
He's gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, we had Lenny Solomon on, and he was an accountant. He gave that up to go into music full time. And he felt that Kosh Baruch Hu gave him a koach, and he wanted to use it. I mean, you guys are clearly extremely talented. Who wrote this one? Tatty My King. What are you saying with this song?
Davening.
This is a davening song.
For me, at least, yeah.
Beautiful. And it obviously reached a lot of people. It obviously touched a lot of people. Now, all of you guys went to Waterbury High School,
Yeah.
right? The music is associated with, I mean, I've heard Rabbi Kalish speak about music on occasion. What is the role that plays in the whole Waterbury experience, which is an experience, obviously?
I think it's Waterbury is a place to express, and if you're writing songs and you're singing music, you're expressing, so they have a lot in common.
So what if you don't have any musical skills?
Well,
Are you at a disadvantage in
that's
Waterbury?
how you're able to do
They
it.
throw you out. Very nice. So now you guys are learning an Eretz show. And do you want someone to give $100 to the Shas for Shidduchim for you guys, or we're not really there yet?
maybe soon.
Soon. Okay, so keep them in mind. This too much fun.
Please do that.
All right, so you wrote songs too?
I don't know.
You just have an incredible voice, and you're able to.
I just take the credit of that.
That's trust me. I've been doing that for most of my life, and it works great. But you wrote a song also, a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, I like writing songs since I was young. So I remember it started in the shower, just like in your head, and then like slowly I picked up an instrument. So I enjoy writing.
I would find that an instrument in the shower, especially if it's electric,
Would be
could
surprised.
create for very dangerous situations. All right, so what song you want to give to the world? There's thousands of people who are watching this podcast. Could be many of them are a new audience to you. I know that you only have like a slightly over 1 million people who watch you guys, but my audience is clearly much more discerning and intelligent and dedicated than anybody who listens to you guys. We're going to expose you to the wider world, and from this, trust me, after that $100, you guys will find it unbelievably powerful shidduch. You know what I mean? It'll be great. So, oh man, that's the way. That's the way we want it. Okay, so what are we going to do? Let's do another song.
So I think back to I think a good song choice is that we sing a lot of times in yeshiva in Waterbury. And Rabbi Kalish came in, we probably sing it like 20, 30 times.
Really?
Rabbi Kalish is very into the song Ekrah. And back to like what music.
Who wrote this?
So this is by Shalsheles officially, but we kind of took it over.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
Sorry out there. But yeah, so basically Rabbi Kalish is a lot. I think music in Waterbury, it's not just like there's Waterbury and like they have like nice music guys sing. I think like music is Waterbury. And what I mean by that is like there's not a day that like there doesn't pass where there's not music sung, whether if it's in Musar or just randomly that Rabbi Kalish just pull you over because
I saw him once when he was in the middle of a mustache and he just had everybody sing.
Yeah. So that happens every day. Like he's very because he explained once that songs in Waterbury, they're not just any people ask like why you keep singing repetitive songs like the same 5 songs like so Killer said the songs we're singing we're not just singing a song, it's representing yeshiva. I think Tatty My King is not what I think Dovid's saying like it's a tefillah like Avinu Malkeinu Tatty My King. We're saying we're davening to Hashem. We're saying like we're asking Hashem Ba'avaschal Tasir Imenu, like we're davening, which I think that's the essence of the yeshiva.
The Zohar Kodesh says that the Shari Nagina are next to the Shari Tshuva. That music has an ability to reach your neshama in a different way. Nagain is Nun, which is the 50th level that takes you to Gan Eden.
Wow.
So it's powerful. So go ahead, take it away.
Ekrah b'mitai Ekrah le'elokim elyon Yishlach li shamayim v'yashi'eni Cherek shayafis elav Yishlach Elokim chazdoi b'mitai Ekrah le'elokim elyon.
Waterbury put out an album, didn't they?
Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
How did it sell?
Beautiful.
I think it's sold
Did
well.
very well, I think so, yeah.
So those were all songs that were composed by any of
Waterbury,
yours
yes.
made it on? Any?
No, this
No, that
was
was like from a while
4
back.
years ago. How long?
Yeah,
So why don't they do another one?
Working on it.
They do like songs once at a time.
Singles.
Like, they put
It's
out
very into
singles,
singles.
Yeah.
Singles. You don't even know what that means. When I was growing up, you used to buy a 45 RPM record. You had a song on one side and a song on the other side. We used to put them on, and that's how you listen to songs.
Did that
So
come
you
with the
release
beeper,
this. This was way before beepers. There were
Oh,
no
wow,
beepers.
okay.
You know, if it was fancy, you had like a little stack that would let them drop down, and
Oh my God.
you know, and then the little arm would go over and play the record. And that was as far as it got. You know, today it's all everything's digital. It's a whole different world. Although I'm told that there are people who dafka hold on to an old record player because they say the sound of a record is better than the digital sound.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
They make modern records now, which are like a thing to have.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
I'm not enough of a bucky of music to tell you this, but there are people who tell you that the music that comes off of a record is a deeper sound than that which is recorded, which I find hard to believe because you can create anything you want with the computer. But Kach Omrim, and you'll leave there. That's the story. Yeah. So what did they tell you about music in Waterbury? I mean, besides the fact that obviously they would use music, yeah. But what did they try to encourage you? Well, they encourage you to do the music, right? I know they encourage you to do sports. They have sports leagues. Rabbi Kalish told me they take the sports leagues very seriously. You know,
They do.
the sports and the exercise. But we should be healthy in mind and in body, right? So they obviously encourage the music. So what does he tell you about music? What is music supposed to be?
Wow, good question.
Thank you very much. That's why I have this job.
What does Rabbi Kalish tell us about music? Well, like I said before, expressing. I already mentioned that before, but it's definitely true.
I told this story with A.B. Rottenberg. You know A.B. Rottenberg? Yeah. Oh, you performed with
Heard of
him.
him, I don't know.
When I was out in L.A., so sometimes he'd invite me over his house for dinner. I was a bacher. He would come home and he'd sit down at the piano and he would just start to play. I didn't recognize any of the tunes. And I said to his wife, "What's he playing?" And she said, "His day." He could just sit down and turn his day into music. The only other time I ever saw that is that I had a counselor when I was in camp who was a classical guitarist. And he used to sit down and play these very, there was nothing modern, it was very complicated pieces, but you could see he was just losing himself in the music. So music obviously has the ability for self-expression, but it's got to be more than that, right? Because so is poetry or art or,
Well, it's definitely a gift also from Hashem. I don't really know how making songs work specifically.
You play an instrument?
Yeah,
What
guitar.
do you play? Guitar. You play also?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It just seems to come to you. If at least when you're writing music, it's not like you're trying so hard to specifically write a song. It kind of is just there. If I pick up a guitar or any of us,
There's not a, you sit down and say, I'm going to write a song now.
no, that I've never.
Can't happen.
Which, by the way, there are people like
There
I'm
are
saying,
people who do that.
professional. Like a lot of music that we're listening to now is like there's like a saying like a sad artist writing a happy song or a happy art, and like you could tell like songs that sell now. It's like okay, we need 10 songs. Let's write songs. That's like
It's very forced.
right.
Paul McCartney once said that there was a group called the Beatles. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Anyway,
that.
so Paul McCartney once said, he says, everybody thought that we were like this counterculture, like, it just, not materialistic. He says, me and John would sit down and say, let's write a swimming pool.
Swimming pool.
So he said, let's try to write something that we know is going to be a hit and be commercial and, So This is not the sort of techno music that seems to be so popular today. I mean, this is more like the Eitan Cats, you know. Authentic.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah. So a song just comes to you. How many songs have you written?
Couple. Not much.
15, 20, just in the past week.
Couple means two. So he's saying two, and you're saying 15, 20. So there's.
Right.
Find the balance.
Yeah, it's like
They don't give math and Waterbury, do they?
We do musical math. The way it works is it's
2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Yeah.
It's more than I know already.
Is it?
That was some new info for me.
How many do you write?
I don't know. I a couple
Bunch.
also. Not a
10,
lot.
15.
Also 10. So a couple means like between 10 and 20. That's the idea.
I guess.
So how many of those were produced?
One.
1. Excellent.
Yeah.
How many hits did you get?
A lot.
I don't know, not that often. It was basically whatever.
More
just,
than a couple. That's
More
for sure.
than a couple.
More than a couple.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
Definitely
cute.
more than a couple.
Wow. So you get something original, something that says, you know, that Waterbury, the essence of what you guys were trying to bring across, you know, in a song.
The essence of what guys are trying to bring across in a
No, what you guys are. I'm here speaking to everybody. You can only talk to the people who are here. That's always, you know,
In order.
I had somebody once who said to me, you know, goes, "Oh, so you're a Talmud of Rav Moshe Shapiro?" And I said, "I wouldn't say that, and Rav Moshe certainly wouldn't say that." But I was one of the people who sat in his shiur for a very long time, you know. In fact, one time somebody was upset at Rav Moshe and they were trying to take it out on me, you know. And I said to them, I said, "You're angry at the king and you want to kill the jester, you know what I mean? Like I you know, I'm nobody." And I told this to Rav Moshe, and he said, "It's really very funny." That wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but you know, but we certainly agreed. Reminds me when I was on a panel. Maybe I shouldn't mention the name, although I used to say it with his name. But maybe I'd be more careful. But a very famous, well-known person in Kiryov, you know. We'd be on a panel, and I said, you know, we agree on one point, we disagree on another. We both agree that he has a lot of worthwhile things to say. We just disagree whether or not I do. So he talked most of the time. And I'm okay with that, you know, because certain people are just enthralled by the sound of their own voice. When I was going to speak at the Aguda, convention. If I had that good a voice, I'd be enthralled by my voice.
Of course.
When I was going to speak at the Aguda convention, so Pesach Kron said, be prepared to run late, because people just can't believe that they're speaking at the Aguda convention, and they just can't stop. They're just so taken with the experience. So, okay, so there's your intro. What are you gonna play?
What should we do?
Shlomo?
Good question.
Which song? Maybe you should pick a song. Yeah.
I don't know the Waterbury songs.
We'll turn it into Waterbury.
No. Obviously, the whole idea is that there's a music to Waterbury.
Right.
That's the idea.
I like that.
Water.
I learned in a Litvisher yeshiva. We also had nigunim, you know.
Right.
It's my favorite one.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. That's the best part.
To me, the worst is when somebody who just is clearly not tuneful, and they manage to take something and turn it into something so incredibly painful, you know? You know what I'm talking about? Like, Haneshama lach, ve'aguf balach, Haneshama lach. And I'm like, oh man.
This better be on here.
I don't have to go to Ganem now. I've already been there.
America, it's not as bad. In Israel, you go to these slichos, and some of these guys are just like, I don't know
Belt
what's
it out.
wrong. I don't know.
Hurts.
You lose it. It's fresh. I'm saying.
It's for the ghosts. It's for the ghosts.
That's where we go.
So, go ahead.
Bring me back.
Speak for your music.
Fine, let's run back. You want to play it?
Since you guys obviously have nothing to say about anything else, so.
Wow.
Let's go. I told you. David has a lot
I'm
to
not
say
very
about this. He's
talkative.
holding back. Let's go.
Absolutely not.
Split?
Yeah.
Fresh. That's good. I didn't say.
Supposedly you play also.
Yeah.
How'd you learn guitar?
This guy.
How did you learn guitar?
My older brother.
How did he learn guitar?
I have no idea.
How did you learn guitar?
I don't know, YouTube kind of taught myself. I don't know. Figured it
I
out.
thought your father blocked YouTube.
He did, but I was like, oh, there was a way around it at the time. I'm joking, you never.
I know nothing.
I was
Why
able
does
to
it have to come out in the
Yeah,
podcast?
it's like,
Too late. Look at that guy. He's putting it in.
Rabbi Gershenfeld said many years ago, he was a Talmud of Rabbi Moshe for many years. So he comes to Rabbi Moshe Shapiro's house and he sees on the refrigerator with a magnet is a picture. Whoever the youngest kid was went to Gan and drew a picture of they have pictures he made Bereshit, so there's the sun, the moon, and the stars, So he says, I didn't know that Rabbi Moshe holds that you can draw a picture of the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Mm-hmm.
He says, what you learned is that Rabbi Moshe doesn't know what's going on in his house, and he took it down and threw it away.
Oh my God! Wow.
So, listen, I can't be held responsible for everything. I'm old, and especially, Moshe Yehuda is number 10 in the family, and my oldest son Yaakov, who's been here before, would often say, if that was me, you would have killed me, and it's true. But you reach a certain age where you just don't have strength.
Don't worry, he
anymore.
did. He killed me many times. Yeah.
So you're like, stop that. No, okay, come back. Yeah, don't play with the knife. All right, play with the knife. You're just too old. You don't have the strength
Fully
anymore.
yish.
It's the difference between young parents and older parents. Older parents have more experience and less stamina. So
It's a good line.
it was like that line from Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, where Jim Waller goes, "Wait, stop, come back." That's what it's like when you're parenting at an old age. Okay.
Knock it out.
6 or 7. 7's fine.
I've been lost for so long. I've been trying to gather my thoughts. The colors in my life I just wanna see, but they're black and white to me. They're black and white to me. I've been lost for so long. I've been trying to gather my thoughts. The colors in my life I just wanna see, but they're black and white to me. They're black and white to me. Bring me back, show me that I can, I've been in the dark for so long. So bring me home, home where I belong, oh. Oh. So bring me back, show me that I can, I've been in the dark for so long. So bring me home, home where I belong, oh. Oh. Bring us home, bring us home, bring us home. Bring us home, bring us home, bring us home.
Who wrote that one?
So,
That was yours?
Yeah,
Gewaldig.
wasn't it? Yeah.
So I was there in Waterbury once, and I heard Rabbi Kalish speaking, and he was saying something about why he prefers songs with English words.
I think he said he likes the mix also.
Like the Hebrew.
Yeah,
Hebrew
yeah.
and
Why is
English.
that?
What is
the
that?
guys could understand. I think it makes it more real to us. I think just because English, just more.
It's
real.
so interesting, because there's this issue of taking psukim and and making them into songs. And like people always say, do we need another Acha Shalti, Ashabara, Ani Mamin, those kind of things. But these are all very original, and they're really expressing something in an original way. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something else, so just feel free to nod at the conclusion.
Are we doing okay?
Yeah, you're doing great. You guys are great. You guys are great.
All right, we're smiling and nodding.
What do you want to write a song about?
Connection.
Two.
Hashem.
That's it. We're not talking about relationships with people.
Well, that's also good.
That's also good.
It's a lot of
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
A lot of those,
But
actually,
but the song that is inside of you is a song to a Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Yes.
Yeah, and your songs?
Yeah, I think the same. I think yeah, like the connection, like
All from above.
yeah.
It's an amazing thing because the most fundamental point of all of Yiddishkeit is to be able to have a kasher with a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And when I learned the Chafetz Chaim of Hanoch Leibowitz, there was a Shiva used to say, it's possible for a guy to sit and learn in yeshiva a whole day and not once think about a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Because if he didn't come up in the sugya, who's thinking about him, And they used to tell Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz, he would be working on a sugya and he'd get stuck on something, he'd be learning. He'd get up, go over to the Aron Kodesh, take the parochas, hold it, say a tefillah, and sit back down. And I see Rabbi Leff, Rabbi Zev Leff, the Rav of Moshe Matisyahu, whenever he gets up, he goes up first to the Aron, takes the parochas, says a little tefillah, and then he turns around and he speaks. And
Makes it more relevant.
it's because when you lose the most important thing, and that's what ends up happening. The most important thing. Somebody else Shlomo says in his Akdama, the most important things are the things that we tend to forget, that we don't put emphasis on, and things slip away. So now you guys are learning in Eretz Yisrael. What's the plan? What happens next? Just sit and learn in yeshiva for.
So Dovid's planning going to Brisk actually, just like a matter.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Now.
No, he didn't either. He didn't either.
Yeah, it's certainly a new development in your musical direction when you go to Brisk. There's no question about it. Some of the greatest Briskin in Nigunim are coming to mind at the top
Do
of
you
my
have
head.
one? Can I hear
Yeah.
one?
Ani Shomer La.
It's just like the other one.
Good fella. Anyway.
It's like there's no more
cry.
guitar. It's like starts to be like binging on that. That's the new instrument, any song.
It's when I learned the Chafetz Chaim, so the rabbi's sons, the Vekas, these guys came out of Chafetz Chaim. There was. In fact, I once sang a Sukkah Kleina, and Rabbi Sharfman, who was in both of those groups, sent me a recording from the rabbi's sons where they recorded a Sukkah Kleina. It was, so by us. But I remember we would sometimes do Nigunim, and they would say, "This is from Slobodka," like some of these tunes that there's a Masorah for. I was giving a shir once, and I was giving it in the shul where I was teaching a class about the davening, Yom Nevarim davening, and I started to do the nigun for Rosh Hashanah night. And everybody joined in, and the place was shaking, and I couldn't go on with the class. I was literally shaking. I went into the office, and one of the Rabbi Langson.
Yeah.
Rabbeinu
That's it, Emery?
now.
Yeah, funny.
He was in Dovid at the time.
So
he says, "What's the matter?" I tell him what happened. He says, "Well, that's the Mata Moshe says that the nigunim that we use on Rosh Hashanah have the power to be ma'ira us to tshuva. It's just the tune itself. That's the power of the nigun. So it's an amazing thing.
Isn't it like one of the ways to bring Geula? I don't remember who told me this once, that like there's different ways that we could bring Mashiach, and one of the ways are through music. Someone says, but I don't know exactly. I don't know. There's a vart. I just don't know the vart.
There's a Chassidische Maisa. I don't know the nigun. It's supposed to be a famous nigun, but I don't know. It doesn't mean anything about me. But that the Balatanya came to a town, and everybody had, they prepared questions for him, So he says, first let's sing a nigun. You know the story?
No.
He
Sounds like
sings
a
this,
Kalish.
and he sings this nigun, and all the questions, like everybody realized the answers to their questions. It just brought you a sense of clarity that the power of music has. So that's unbelievable. Rabbi Isai, what can I tell you? Kosh Baruch Hu gave me a special gift. I never learned how to play an instrument. My parents never got me any lessons, and no one ever taught me. And
You could sing. I'm saying you could sing. We like
I
Shas.
can sing, but I don't have a trained voice.
Go high.
And I can go.
I've heard harmonies.
I've done some harmonies here and there. And I've
wrote
done
some
a little
songs.
bit,
NCSY
but I'm not,
wrote some songs.
let's face it. Nobody is going to listen to me for my music. That's for sure. And I never learned how to play an instrument, which to me is like I always wished. Shmuel Klaver, who used to be with Ruach, Shalei Lang Orchestra, yeah. So I remember we were once at a Kumsitz, and the guy was sitting there playing the guitar, and he says, "It's so beautiful to have an instrument you can just pull out with a group of people and play, and everyone can sing along." And I said, "Yeah." He says, "That's why I learned to play the drums."
Oh.
But it doesn't really have the same thing unless you're in a marching band. Drum-dum, 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 drum-dum. Anyway.
That's like having a triangle.
Yeah, triangle.
There's always that guy though. There's always that guy.
I went out and bought myself a professional tambourine.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's as long as you can hold a beat, it's not too hard to play the tambourine. There must be a real science to it, but I don't know what it is. But I can play the tambourine and the kazoo, but that's about it. But to be able to, my son-in-law Avi Lieberman plays the keyboard. Just be able to sit at the keyboard or to be able to play the guitar. It's such an unbelievable thing.
Yeah.
We had a guy when I was in yeshiva, 1975, who was learning how to play the trumpet. We used to lock him in the miklat and say, "Until you learn, do not come out."
When I wanted to learn drums, I don't know if you remember, I went to lessons for a couple months, and then by the time I started practicing, it was a very big rejection from my family. That was very hard on me.
It had nothing to do with the drums.
I know.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Lines like that, why kids end up in Waterbury. But anyway,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
we love you.
It's been a pleasure.
Anyway, listen, drums is a tough thing to have to practice.
And violin.
I don't know if you're in the 1950s. There was a TV show called I Love Lucy. Did you hear of it?
Why did I hear that?
Yeah, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. Yeah. Anyway, so they have a kid, little Ricky, and they buy him a drum set, and you just see the whole day he's practicing, drum, 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 and they get up in the morning and they're walking to the beat, drum, drum. They open the refrigerator, drum, 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 drum. Drum, drum, drum. And the whole day just goes to the beat. It's an amazing thing. Anyway, all right. I think we're out of time. So for this week, we want to thank everybody who's been watching the special musical episode. We want to thank our extremely talented musical talent for this week, and hopefully we'll be able to have. And if you want to find out more about the show, you can go to my website, RabbiOrlofsky.com, where you can add comments, see my upcoming event schedule, contact me directly. If you want to join the online Daf Yomi or Mesilas Yesharim shiurim, there are two of them, Monday and Sunday. It's a lot of order there, but I am dyslexic. You can go to RabbiOrlofsky.com/live. If you want to sponsor an afternoon, to RabbiOrlofsky.com/sponsor. We want to thank Shas for shiduchim.org. And I'm just going to give a shout out over here because this podcast comes out Saturday night. And Sunday and Monday, the Shul-wide Davening, which is Toras Chaim, which is in memory of Reb Chaim Kreisler. Reb Chaim Kreisler started building the shul 20 years ago. Did not live to see its completion. And it's because of all kinds of red tape and all kinds of problems. And now they're mamish at the end. They're hoping to move into the building, by Pesach, and they're making a 2-day campaign. So anybody who would like to participate, we're putting the link on the podcast, and whatever anybody can do. It's a 2-day appeal. If anybody wants to try to help build a shul in Yerushalayim, it's a very chashuv zach. And this is my small contribution, is reaching out to the people who might feel a kesher and would like to see a shul built in Edell, know that I would have a place to daven in, and instead of they're in a lobby And it gets cold. It's pretty cold. Anyway, full disclosure, it's really cold. Anyway, that's the story. Once again, thank you for everybody for this special. Next year we're gonna have another musical episode. I hope on Shabbos Shur. Like I say, this is already got 2 years. We're on our way to making a chazaka. That's it for this week. My name is David Orlofsky, and this is the Rabbi Orlofsky Show.
It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. Torah and Simcha, ready to go. It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. Knowledge and wisdom will help you grow. Lots of fun in every episode, and we don't have to rhyme. No, we don't. It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show on RabbiOrlofsky.com. Torah anytime, YouTube and more. It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. Torah and Simcha, ready to go. It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. Till next time, till we meet again. It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show. It's the Rabbi Orlofsky Show.